So, old Dr. Umar Johnson, you know how he's always on his high horse talking about this, talking about that. And there's some things that I agree with him on, some things I didn't. I happened to catch a YouTube knockdown because I was co signing something he said about some people and a political situation. So I said, well, I won't quote him no more because that messed up the situation. But anyway, let me talk about this for a moment. So we're gonna get into about how his daughter came out yesterday, and she basically said her dad was a deadbeat. She said he was ineffective in her life, and she's called him out. She's not trying to chase his bag. She's not trying to chase his vision. She's not trying to mess with his citizenship or what he's doing. But what she's saying is that he wasn't there. And she says that she wants to get in touch with her aunt, who happens to be his sister. Now, do I believe her? Yes, I do. She sounded contrite. She sounded sincere. She sounded forthright. She sounded like, she was putting it out there that, hey, he hasn't done his job. So this is a man that's supposed to speak on the upkeep of black folks and talk about this and talk about that. But his own daughter saying that he won't even pick up the phone. And she welcomes the conversation. She says the ship has sailed as far as, but she would talk to him at least. But she's calling him out on being a hypocrite. She's calling cap on his actions. So I asked him, I said, well, how are you going to speak out on things when you have this kind of purposefully dysfunction? Because she sounded like she want to reach out to him. Now, I'm going to say this. If it was in his defense, there are some parents, and especially with fathers, that their children turn on them. And it's not the father's fault because sometimes the kids get brainwashed by the other parent or things come about which have nothing to do with the human respect. So it's one thing if you just get turned on because someone is picking sides, which is wrong because it takes two to create, not one. Some of these parents don't understand that. So if you get shut out from that perspective, I understand if you don't have if their people go their separate ways, their parents and children, I understand it. But if they're the other party wants to have a relationship with you, especially from the child perspective, because they didn't ask to be brought, if they choose out to seek you out and you act ignorish and you act like you can't be bothered, that's on you. And he has acted janky with certain things he said and whatnot. But this has to definitely take a chew and a bite in him because Dr. Umar Johnson always portrays himself as this that upstanding type of person and stuff. So he can't be having his daughter saying that he has not been there. Call him a deadbeat. Dead. Basically said he's been ineffective and no parts of nothing. Now, it's one thing if you and the mother don't have no relationship and y'all don't. I understand that. I get all that. But if you're still reaching out, that doesn't mean that you can't be part of the life. That don't mean that you have to just like suddenly fly away and act like you don't know nothing and you go because you are seen as someone that is a spiritual leader fundamentally. And there are people who would say, hey, this guy's supposed to represent this. So now he's getting called out in this mad cap because the young lady sounded very sincere. She sounded very forthright, direct, and it's from her emotions. She wasn't saying something that you know, to just be trying to get a bag. There are children who pimp their parents. They pimp them. They can be teens, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, maybe 60s. They will pimp their parents and make them feel guilty and put them on a guilt trip because you weren't there and you didn't do this. And they still want an iPad and a cell phone and a car. They want a crib. They feel they're entitled. But this ain't that kind of party. His daughter was sincere. His daughter put it there that, hey, basically to quote Shaquille O'Neal, biological didn't bother. And you are running around here like you are holier than thou and upper than all that, and this comes out, this not a good look, brother. It's not a good look. But hey, you gotta know before you put that kind of message out. So it's one thing if you get shunned, it's another when you self-shunning. And I got a problem with anybody who's a parent who self-shuns their kids, especially if if the child's trying to reach out to you. I have no respect for self-shunning parents when the child is trying to reach out and wants to have a relationship, but you act like you still too high on your horse and you can't see the light. That's embarrassing. You can't give out no people about no advice and tell people about stuff when you self-shunning. You trying to throw the Heisman, you trying to tell them talk to the hand. Well, you were part of the situation. You might not have anything to do with your former partner, however y'all did that right, but you created the light. And if they trying to reach out to you, you should be an open vessel, an open base. So anyway, that's my thoughts and takes about Dr. Umar Johnson's daughter calling him a deadbeat dad and airing him out. And she's speaking from the heart. So you take it how you want. Please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share it if you like and hit that membership. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free, stay true. And relationships do matter. On how you treat folks. Remember that. I'm out.